So you're saying that the government position has shifted and that it's significant. Could you just keep on explaining why?
Yes, I think the government is able to see that the damage that's being done to Israel by the conduct of the action it's taken against the Hamas attack is costing Israel dear, as well as the impact on the civilians and the impact that is having on them and on Gaza. And I think there's an increasing concern that what Israel is seeking to do will just not achieve the objects of peace and security for itself or justice for the Palestinians, which is what is needed eventually to bring this conflict to an end.
John Craig, our chief political correspondent, was saying that he believes it may be Lord Cameron driving this change in policy. Do you think that's perhaps correct?
Well, it would seem to be. The position has changed since David Cameron became the Foreign Secretary. But I think it was coinciding with a time when it looked increasingly likely that the objectives that Israel had set itself against Hamas were simply not deliverable and were causing increasing damage, not only to Israel's cause, but to wider relations throughout the region, and increasing everyone's worry about how this is going to end and what it's going to lead to in the future. And this concern that terror sparks not just from conflict, but from a failure to end conflict is very real. And perhaps the shift in opinion will persuade some in Israel that there is a different way to go about ensuring their security, to which they are all absolutely entitled.
It's such a difficult issue, isn't it, for the UK government? And it's an issue that feelings are running so high. There are going to be all sorts of people watching this programme, constituents in constituencies across the country who will be thinking and feeling so passionately and deeply for either side in the conflict. How difficult is it for politicians to weave a way through?
I think it's incredibly difficult. Politicians, if they're in Parliament for any length of time at all, will have been confronted with this issue. I first went to the region as a Member of Parliament in 1983, 40 years ago, and it's lived with me all the time. I've never known it so bitter or so polarised, or where the answers and solutions appeared to be so difficult. But more than one state has said to me that it is so terrible that there can only this time be an ultimate resolution of the issues, because we cannot go on doing this again. No one is going to pay to repair Gaza and put billions of pounds into it, only for this to happen again in 2 or 3 years. And there is no solution to Gaza unless there is consideration about what is happening on the West Bank and Jerusalem. And into all that, there must be some focus also on Hamas. While the conflict goes on, all the questions are being asked of Israel, instead of people asking the questions: where are the hostages? Why were the hostages taken? What condition are the hostages in? And what is Hamas going to do to reverse the trauma that it has inflicted on Israel? And what is its role in all this? And until the conflict is ending, those questions which should be being asked, I think, are being neglected as well.
Some big questions there. Thank you very much indeed. Really good to have you on this evening's programme.